Katie is in Springfield. Hi, Katie. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hello, can you hear me? Thank you for having me.
Sure. What's up?
So I am a newlywed college student, and my husband and I are about $12,000, a little bit over in debt, and are trying to figure out how to get ahead of this ball before it gets bigger than what we can pay off reasonably right after school.
You're $12,000 in debt.
Yes.
And you're what year in school?
So I have full ride, and I'm finishing my associates. My husband has also finished his associates, but he's finishing his bachelor's in engineering.
And how are we paying for all of this future education?
So right now we're working, and we have scholarship, and then all of my leftover scholarship, since I'm at a really cheap community college, goes over to his bills for school.
So you're not adding any more debt?
So that's what we're trying to avoid, is adding any more debt.
That's what I was asking about.
Student loan options, but we don't want to take them if we don't have to.
You don't have to. Don't take them. You need to draw a line in the sand and say no more debt. So that's the first thing. And then once you do that, then $12,000 you can knock out. You may have to wait till you graduate and get jobs to be able to knock it out. But your first goal is not getting rid of the $12,000. Your first goal is graduate without any more debt. And so I would just pile up money until he graduates, and I'd pay off the $12,000 after he gets out of school.
Okay.
Yeah, because right now getting both of you through with no more debt is a big job in and of itself, isn't it?
Yes.
That's enough to concentrate on, and I think that's a great goal, and I think it's very doable, by the way. But you do have to take what we say, take debt off the table. You have to go, that's not an option. I'm not going to do that. Now, how are we going to figure it out? And then that means scholarships and all the stuff you've been doing. You've been scratching and clawing and scraping and scrapping and hustling and grinding, and you're doing all the right stuff. You're doing a lot of smart things here. But the only thing I would tell you is, A, take debt off the table. B, if you can simply graduate with no debt, no more debt, and deal with the $12,000 later, I'm going to call that a success, wouldn't you?
I would, because again, I think we've been illustrating this hour certainly that you can pay off $12,000. Certainly, two people together in this job economy, you could knock that out so fast. It really make your head spin how quickly you could knock that out.
Might get that as a signing bonus at the new job.
That's right, especially with that engineering degree. Who knows? I mean,
yeah, exactly.
They're both going to make good money.
Here's what's interesting in North America today. There are legitimate areas of poverty where people literally have unbelievable poverty. Nowhere near what there used to be. It's the best it's ever been. Poverty level is the lowest it's ever been in American history right now. And but aside from someone living at that, personal finance is 80% behavior. It's only 20% head knowledge. None of you listening really have a math problem as much as you have a behavior problem. And that includes me. When I discovered this truth years ago, I figured out if I could get the guy in the mirror to behave, he could be skinny and rich. But he's got issues with donuts, chocolate covered preferably.
Yeah.
He's got other issues with other kinds of foods, pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah. It could be a problem.
Oh, yeah.
And, we all have this issue of, denying ourselves something now to get something better later.
Yeah.
This idea of delayed pleasure, which is a grown-up act. Children do what feels good. Adults devise a plan and follow it. And so, our caller before the break, $200,000 a year, $85,000 in income, that's a fairly easy math formula. You should be out of debt in 2 years. But you have to be willing to deeply sacrifice. And by the way, they've been living not on $200,000, they've been living on about $250,000 because they've run up over $100,000 worth of credit card debt. Yeah. And so not only do you have to cut your lifestyle down to your income, now you have to cut it dramatically below your income. None of that is a math problem. That's all just a decision.
Yeah.
And the rationalizations, the beliefs that we've brought in as to what is normal, and our level of work ethic. How much are we willing to work, short-term and long-term? And am I willing to stay at a job that, quote-unquote, feels secure when there's something I can make twice as much with a reasonable level of risk?
Yeah. Well, you're really hitting on something. I say this all the time, Dave, that we are, as humans, our natural human condition is to be more comfortable being miserable than comfortable
than miserable being comfortable.
Right. It's like, well, we would rather be miserable than uncomfortable is a better way to say it.
Yeah.
Because I know what my misery is. Well,
it's the devil I know.
Yeah. I got the credit card payments. We're barely making ends meet, but we got all the stuff, and it's killing me, but I'm used to it. Versus, what would it take to actually pay off $85,000? What would it take? How quickly could we do it? And we don't even dive into that question. And so what happens is, Dave, the unknown is terrifying. It is absolutely paralyzed. Like walking in a cave. You and Daniel Ramsey were telling me the other day a story about being in Israel in some cave or something where it finally wigged you out because it was so like dark or something or so crazy.
Crowded. The people wouldn't get out of the way.
Oh, it was crowded. Sorry. But if you've ever been in a dark cave where you can't see in front of you,
yeah.
You don't move.
I can handle that as long as I got a light. Yeah, I mean,
no, I'm saying, but imagine how terrifying. Oh, here's an example.
It's overwhelming.
Well, yeah, but you get in a deep fog. What do? You pull the car over immediately. You can't see behind the hood of your car.
When you are out of control and you can't see your way towards control, it's called anxiety.
Right.
That's what we call it.
But part of this is we don't even look into what would have to be true for us to do this. And then when we dive into the unknown a little bit and get some answers, now what was terrifying and intimidating is, oh, all right, it's going to be hard, but it's doable.
Yeah. Jim Collins, that wrote the book Good to Great, talks about that in Great by Choice.
Yeah.
He said the thing that paralyzes more people in business, and it's true in your personal life too, people are more afraid of ambivalence than they are known struggle.
Absolutely right.
They'll choose known struggle over not knowing quicker. And so that's what we do here. We shine a light of knowing and go, you can do this. Now you got to face the most difficult equation of all, the human equation. Personal finance is 80% behavior. It's only 20% of knowledge. It is truly up to you. It's not up to the White House. It's up to what happens in your house.